In this video, I'm going to be breaking down for you my exact profit and loss on my first ever career £100,000 plus month and sharing with you everything when it comes to generating that amount of revenue, what got us there, what we spent, how we spent it, and why we were able to generate that amount of revenue in a month. A lot of the tactics and strategies on YouTube you see are from people who've never actually hit 100K months in their own agencies. And for me, I just want to be transparent and share with you guys the mindset behind it, how we actually achieved it, but most importantly, how irrelevant it actually is hitting that menial revenue goal. It's all about your profit when it comes to your social media marketing agency. And also, one of the key points I want to point out for you is that when I started out in my social media marketing agency, I thought that getting to 6 figures a month was going to mean that I was successful. It was going to validate my success. And if you're in a position where you're not at the 100K per month mark, it's really important that you don't have the same beliefs that I did about it validating your success. This business is all about the profit, okay? The take home after all the expenses, all the taxes. And most agencies don't want to reveal what the actual profit margins are, because when you're spending and you're aggressively growing your agency with marketing, with paid ads, with video content, with team members, offices, all of the stuff that I'm going to share with you and break down, people don't want to reveal that what you make isn't what you take. So for you guys, I just want to share this. Obviously, I've been in the game now since 2016, and I had to go back into the archives of the P&Ls, but I thought many of you would take value from this, breaking down the exact way we did it, how much we spent, and most importantly, how much was left over after all the expenses. At the end of the video, I'm going to reveal the net profit for you guys on that 100K plus month after the taxes, advertising, team, office, the whole 9 yards. And I think it's going to shock many of you. So stick around to the end of the video to see the reveal of the net profit on my first 100K month. Another thing I want to point out is getting there is one thing, and then once you've done it once, it starts to become a habit. So I've been lucky enough to obviously hit 100K months time and time and time again, but also we have dipped time and time and time again. You lose clients, things change, contracts expire, teams change. There's so many moving parts that come into play with having a successful social media marketing agency. So don't fool yourself into thinking that just because you've got there, you'll stay there easily as well, like many of the educators on YouTube seem to make out. Getting there is one thing, staying there is another. Let's jump into it and actually break down what my first ever career 100K month actually looked like. As always guys, if you find any value in the video, like and subscribe, and any questions about this, I'm actually quite excited to answer them personally for you. So if you've got any questions whatsoever about any of the content, the numbers, the figures, drop them into the comment section and I'll be personally replying within 24 hours to each and every one of you. So this is a profit and loss, guys. This is exactly what I was speaking about earlier. It allows you to see everything in your business, what's coming in, what's going out. And also, if you do this month to month, it allows you to actually see what the variance is between each month. So are you heading in the right direction? Is your profit increasing? Is your revenue increasing in line? Are your expenses staying the same? Or where and what percentage increase have certain expenses had created? Now I've ripped out the first 6-figure month for you guys to go through the actual numbers. So turnover, right here at the top, we've got turnover, and the first one is consulting. So that month we did £6,250. Now bear in mind guys, all of these numbers are excluding VAT. So those of you who are actually in the UK, you guys in the US have different tax laws, but if you're in the UK, these are excluding VAT. So everything that you're seeing on here had VAT paid on top of it at the time of those purchases and those sales. So consulting, £6,250. Then we've got other sales, £78,299.61, brings the total turnover to £84,549.61, excluding VAT. Now, off the top of my head, VAT on this at 20% would be something around the lines of 16,000 or somewhere. Don't quote me on that, but it was somewhere around those lines, which took us over that 100K collected that month. Now, cost of sales, very important. The first thing we need to establish is the gross profit. So the cost of sales, the turnover minus the cost of sales is what allows you to understand what your gross profit is. Your gross profit is super important. The main two expenses that we have in this is, let's just go through them: direct expenses, cost of goods sold, consultancy, direct costs, outsourcing, PHP. By the way, what you can see right here, guys, we're actually talking about people per hour in that. So it's misspelled, but it's PPH. So that's people per hour. So we use people per hour as a platform to get outsourced help and to bring other team members as and when needed, if we're behind or if we just need some additional skills. A common one for that would be something like a web developer or a coder or an app developer. Depends on what the project is. Direct wages is the next one. So £20,697.23 on direct wages. So that's the staff, that's the team members. The team members on this month would have been probably on average, if I think back, look, in the beginning of the agency days, guys, you know, you want to get the best talent for the cheapest cost. I'd probably say the average pay for an employee at that period of time would have been around 2.4k maximum for the senior team members. That was what brought that 20k. So that's probably like 10 in-house team members at that time. Then you've got outsourcing, so 13,935 10 pence on top of that. So this could have been videographers, because we didn't have videography at the time in-house. To be honest, we were shooting a lot of video. So 13, you know, if we're looking at £1,000 for a video shoot, editing as well from a videographer for the campaigns we're running, 13, 14 shoots that month sounds actually quite realistic. So that was probably mainly on content creation and actually bringing in content creators to work with us and collaborate with us. Now, in this month, like I said, we're already looking at the expenses being pretty high. So we've got 34,000 or 34,500 on just in-house and outsourced team members. Now, one thing that is important to recognize on this P&L as well, that salary cost doesn't include directors' remuneration. So that's actually something that's separate. That brought us to a gross profit of 49,000, so just under and just shy of £50,000. Now we jump into the administration costs. So a lot of you will be wondering, how much did you spend on ads to generate 84,000 and a half or £84,549 in sales? Bear in mind, guys, it wasn't all new sales. So a lot of you will be sitting there thinking, oh, this ad spend doesn't correlate. But the reality is recurring revenue has to be in your business for you to scale and for you to grow. That means to have recurring revenue, you need to keep clients on board. You need to keep them happy. You need to have great communication. And most importantly, guys, you need to be delivering results. The amount of agency owners right now who aren't delivering any results is at an all-time high. So if you are delivering results, you're going to find it much easier to scale your agency to that 100k plus mark than the rest of the competition, because most agencies in the startup phase in particular, they're just churning through clients like no tomorrow. And I've seen it, you know, in my mentorship program, I've seen it with people who apply to work with us. You have to think long term here. You can't get to 100k months. Well, you can probably sell 100k's worth of social media marketing in a month. However, it's not sustainable. You need accounts that are recurring revenue, that are coming in over and over and over again. And this was a big, you know, this wasn't a massive, significant sales jump to get to this place. Advertising and marketing, £8,281. That was mainly all spent on one platform, guys. It was Facebook and Instagram ads. In another video I'm going to be publishing, let me know if you guys would find it helpful to have my exact adverts that we run to generate the thousands of leads that we've generated that directly apply to work with us and our agency. I'm thinking about revealing that for you guys as well, given I'm in the spirit of transparency. All right, I don't want to take too long on this. Bank fees, 54 quid, nothing. We've got directors remuneration, 6,347 at the time. National insurance, 2.5k. We've got general expenses, 454. We've got IT software. So this is a pretty chunky amount of money, 5k on IT and software. Just to give you guys a breakdown, We're talking about Active Campaign. We're talking about Monday.com. We're talking about, well, it wasn't there back then, but software such as Otter AI, which is a great tool that we're using right now. So those are the kind of softwares that are taking up so much of the revenue. £5,000. Another software which you guys can see on the screen right now is this one right here, Time Doctor. So with all of our contractors and all of our in-house team members, at that point in time, we had Time Doctor logging where they were spending their time in business hours. So what apps they were using, what platforms they were on, and where they were actually fulfilling the tasks and the job roles that they had. And I think that's an amazing tool. Definitely check out Time Doctor, guys. Unbelievable resource for keeping track of what projects are taking the longest as well. A lot of people don't realize in social media marketing, if you're spending 3 times the amount on one project as another, and they're both billed at the same rate, you're actually probably going to be not profitable delivering that project, because all of your team's time is being sucked up by that client. So something to pay massive attention to is how long and where your team are spending their time. Legal expenses, -600. I'm not sure what that means, to be honest with you guys. Motor vehicle, that would have been just parking, going here, there, wherever. Printing and stationery, 45 quid. Rent, another significant cost, guys. I do not recommend right now, guys, that you look at getting the volume of offices that I had at the time. So we actually had 3 units at the time of this first 6-figure month. The amount of money I've spent on offices is one of the only regrets I have in my social media marketing journey. I had this vision of being the biggest agency, clients coming down, they can see all the team in-house, they can kind of feel the environment and this creative environment. And that's what I was trying to create at the time. That massively changed when I had kids, because I no longer wanted to spend the same amount of hours I do now in the office at the actual HQ in Birmingham. So as life changes, time changes, and don't feel like you need to validate again your agency by having big fixed offices that you have to go to work from. Look, for some people it's great, that's what they're naturally used to, but for others it's not any more productive than working remote and working from home and having remote teams as well. Another thing about working from home is if you're working from home, your team can work from home. The office really only becomes a good spot for hybrid work and meetings with clients if they ever want to come in, delivering trainings. All of that stuff is really great, having an office facility. But apart from that, you're much better off being more flexible in your social media marketing agency, and you can do 6 figures without having a fixed office, guys, very, very easily. We've done it time and time again. Now let's talk about total administration costs, 26,800. So you can see, guys, this stuff adds up really, really quickly. And that brought us to an operating profit, big reveal of 23,053 pence. But remember, your operating profit isn't what you take home, especially if you have to pay taxes on. Then we've got the profit on ordinary activities before taxation, which unfortunately the price we have to pay for not moving to Dubai and living tax-free here in the UK. The corporation tax in the UK is 19%. So call it 4.5K off that. And that leaves us with a grand total on an £84,500 month excluding VAT of £18,673.29. Looking at that, it's mad. Now we have had 6-figure months where we've had a much bigger profit, but again, I wanted to share with you the first one because the first one honestly is definitely the most significant, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this profit and loss breakdown. I'd love to get your reaction on whether you thought making 18K net. What's funny as well, guys, on the way to 6-figure months, we've had months where we've done 18K plus profit on a much lower revenue. So don't let that deter you either, guys. This was a very aggressive month, very high expenses, mainly the softwares, the team costs, the office costs, the advertising spend. Everything was quite high this month. We have had 6-figure months where we've had a much better profit, and we've had much lower revenue months, which I'll probably break down in another video. Let me know if you want me to do that, where we've made 18K plus in net profit as well. So again, it's all circumstantial. You can stay small and then you can have a better margin, or you can scale and naturally your margin might shrink because you've got more expenses and more team members and more overhead. It's just all about finding that balance. And also remembering that just hitting six figures, it isn't what you make, guys, it's what you take. Remember that, guys. Just because you hit six figures and you now have this title and you have this, you know, this kind of label that you've put on validating your success, it really means nothing. You can have a much smaller agency with much higher profit margins. It's all about finding that perfect balance for you and your business. Okay, so there you have it. That is the first 100K month in my agency. That's the numbers, that's the net profit. What do you guys think? Was it what you were expecting? I know for a damn fact it wasn't what I was expecting all those years ago when we hit that figure. For me personally, it was a big milestone, and I feel like when you're starting out in SMMA, you don't know what you can achieve and you're not certain and secure about your ability to be able to do these kind of numbers. Believe me when I tell you, I don't have any marketing degree. I don't have a background in marketing. I, just like many of you that will be watching this video, started my social media marketing agency with zero experience. Now, I was lucky because I had mentors, coaches, and people who guided me on the way. The best education that I got in the industry on how to grow my business was actually from my clients. So don't miss out on opportunities to learn from your clients, guys. I work with some absolutely phenomenal, and still do, entrepreneurs, and they shaped the way for me and my education. I learned so much from them because I was always a sponge, always present, always trying to learn their mindset, how they approach business, and also how they approach their sales and marketing and customer delivery and service delivery as well, even if it wasn't in the social media marketing agency space. The biggest tip and takeaway from this video that I hope you guys see is, number one, just because you make 100K per month doesn't mean you take home 100K per month. Number two, making 100K plus per month doesn't mean you're validated and successful. It just isn't something that will validate you. Once you do it, it's like buying a new car. It's like when I bought my Porsche Macan GTS, my dream car. It loses the novelty very, very quickly. Wow, I'm a six-figure-a-month entrepreneur. Great, who the hell cares? It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It doesn't mean your business is better than anyone else's. It's literally, you did something well, you capitalized on it, and the timing and everything else came about to help you do that. So don't take all the credit. Another thing I want you to take away is don't let it get to your head. Don't let your ego get inflated. Again, I was guilty of this, guys. I was a lot younger than I was now. It's years ago since we did that first 100K month. And for me, it all went to my head. It all went into the Aaron Branch ecosphere between my brain cells, and it imploded into me thinking I was the shittest hot marketer on the market. And ultimately I could have been, but the reality was it doesn't make a difference. You know, like I said, don't let it get to your head. Stay humble. Give all props to the team, to the clients. You are just the facilitator as an agency owner. And when you're off the tools, that's when you start to realize, okay, now I'm managing a business. I'm managing a 100K plus per month business. And that's a different kind of feel to actually being a marketer and being on the ad accounts, on creative shoots. And honestly, managing the business wasn't the most fun part for me. It was actually being a marketer, which is what I've come back to now, only now once we've automated the systems and processes, and everything could work without me, but I'd rather it work with me. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe. And on the screen right now, you should be seeing a couple of other videos for you to digest. Also, in the description box, if you don't have an existing profit and loss that you're managing every single month for your agency or for your business, I'll drop you a template that you can now start exporting your CSV format bank feeds and plugging them into this and categorizing it. Normally an accountant or a bookkeeper could do that for you, but if you're just starting out, you probably don't have the money for that. So you can do it yourself. It'll only take you around an hour. If you're only starting out, you won't have a lot of transactions and expenses anyway, or at least you shouldn't. And I'll drop that resource in the description box for you guys, where you can copy and paste the document and do as you will with it. As a thank you for coming to the video and the channel and checking this out, if you want a copy of my book, The First 365, you can check that out in the description box, and I'll send you the PDF version that you can instantly access through the description box. It's all about how to sign 4-figure clients over the phone from anywhere in the world.